Any questions?
师父 ，morning.
啊
I need to ask 出家人有多少那个祭祖戒？有多少条那个祭祖戒？
有多少条具足戒？
对。
Why do you ask this question?
因为我们只是5条嘛，所以出家人这么多条，我就在想，每一个都要遵从，有点好奇。
为什么好奇呢？
因为我刚刚讲刚刚有看到一个那个 video， 他是说出家人一共有250条戒，那个比丘啦，比丘是385如果没有错。
那个是比丘尼是300多条，
对，
是250，这个是约檀摩德部4分律然后呢？
没有，只是问。
只是问说有几条？那你不是说你看了一个 video？
对，这么多条件，如果是没有遵守的话，这样是不是犯了那个？就是要他们就说出家人要怎样？如果是已经犯了那个戒了，
如果是犯了那个戒，你是想要出家吗？
不是想问一下。
这方面就是出家众那个开遮持犯有我们那个行持跟那个仪轨等等呀，我们有处理的方法了，呀，你想要问的是什么呢？
我是说我们5条戒，我们都会犯就是说有时都会犯错这样。如果我们犯错，我们会就是我们只可以忏悔嘛。如果是出家人也是跟我们一样嘛，就是说也是就是忏悔这样。
那我们出家人的事，我们出家的事跟你没有关系。
没有，只是好奇，只是好奇呀，对。
只是好奇，我不可以给你回答。只是好奇的话，我不跟你回答。Yeah. So anyway, for those, Mayan asked about. First, she asked how many of the precepts do the fully ordained monastics have? Yeah. So then asked like, why do you ask this? So she said that she watched a video, and in the video, it wasn't clear whether it's a venerable who mentioned. I presume should be a venerable, because lay people has no shouldn't be giving teachings on the monastic code. If they are not observing it, how can they be giving teachings on it? So mentioned about how the bhikshu observed 250 precepts, and then the nuns observed 385. Yeah. And then so I told her, I said, yeah, that's under the Dhammagupta tradition, under the fourfold precepts, fourfold Vinaya, yeah, or four-part Vinaya. Yeah. So then I'm like, so you already know already, you know how many number, so why are you asking? So she said she's curious. And then she clarified that there are so many precepts. What do we do if we were to break any of the precepts? So I asked her, but why do you want to ask about this? So she said that because for the lay person there are 5 precepts only, and if they and it's possible for the lay person to break it, yeah, to transgress it, then if they transgress, then they would have to do confession. So then for monastics, how do you handle it? How do you all handle it? So I asked, like, but why do you need to know? Yeah, monastics have our way of handling transgression. Yeah, they say, oh, I'm just curious. No. So I told her, just curious, I cannot answer you. Yeah. As much as I'm quite open to answer virtually any questions. Questions pertaining to the Sangha, in particular the monastic code, unless you intend to ordain. If you intend to ordain, then I'll be happy to answer all your questions, which other students have. Yeah, they are already planning to ordain, so they can ask any degree of questions about it, and I'll be happy to answer them. Oh, you all should be curious about. Unless you want to ordain, then you can be curious about the monastic code. Otherwise, you should be curious about your 5 precepts. You should be curious about your 8 precepts. You should be curious about your defilements, how to overcome it. Don't spend time being curious about other people's business. It doesn't help you. Yeah. Of course, there may be certain context of the Dharma talk that you heard that arouse your curiosity. Yeah. But then you need to give me some context. Yeah. Oh. I would answer questions to help you progress. I'm not Wikipedia. You ask whatever, then I just give you. I will answer your questions to help you in your path, not simply to fulfill curiosity. Yeah. In the Buddha's time, there were individuals who asked the Buddha certain questions also. Yeah. The Buddha don't answer all questions. Yeah. So any particular context, you need to explain your curiosity. Yeah. If it's a good reason, then I'd be happy to reply you.
Sorry, actually, 我是因为我要跟那个同学因为是说我们有5戒，但如果我们犯的那个5戒，我们要就是要忏悔啦。我就大概有讲到出家人他有这么多戒，但他们就是我们5戒可能我们都守不了，但出家人这么多戒，我的意思是这样。
So you mentioned about a video you watched.
对，我有看到 video 说其实是有师父说出家人他们一共有250条戒。对，但我是说我只是大概解释给同学们说出家人大概有250条戒，这个是对吗？就是
没有，你解释给同学什么同学？
没有的我是说教那个 Uwin 的同学。
什么的同学？
我是教 Uwin 的同学，我大概会讲到
什么是 Uwin
就是青少年。
Youth
Youth
呀。Youth 对不起，我一直听不懂你。
因为可能我讲不准呀。
就是青少年你青少年就青少年。你教青少年，然后你的用意是要跟他们讲什么呢？
我只是大概就是说我是看到那个就是说我刚好看到就是说我们只是守5戒，跟出家人大概有多少条戒，这样我只是大概跟他这样讲。
然后呢？
没有，然后是我自己好奇。
没有，就是我们跟他们分享的时候，总要有一个那个宗旨跟我们的用意嘛，对吗？那我们跟他提到说，出家众有250条，相对于在家5条，那 们想要表达的概念是什么呢？重点
就是他们应该守好这个5戒啦，就是我们只是五条戒罢了。我意思是这样呀。
哦，那就这样子就可以了。
没有看，刚才那个是我好奇问的。
哦，对啊，那个好奇我就不跟你说了，对啊，但是就是呀，慎重有慎重处理事物的方法，呀，哦，嗯，你想要知道啊，你出家你就可以知道了。这个 Rachel 说，It is not easy to practice the 8 precepts for some due to various reasons. 这个戒哈，哦，sorry，I should use English 啊。So, uh, so Rachel mentioned that it's not easy to practice the 8 precepts for some, due to various reasons. Even the 5 precepts is not easy for some people to practice due to various reasons also. Yeah. There's always some reason. Yeah. Condition phenomenon 嘛，conditionality 嘛，缘起法总是有因缘的。Yeah. The question is, what are the conditions, right? What are the reasons? Yeah. For example, a person may be very cruel. Yeah. So he has difficulty observing the first precept. Yeah, because he like to see others suffer. So he see cockroach, then he poke them. Yeah. Or maybe he don't even kill them. He slowly torture them. Yeah. So that's also a reason, right? Yeah. Or some people are very suspicious of others. So when people ask them anything, they will lie. Yeah, anything they will lie. They don't want to tell the truth because they feel suspicious. Why you want to ask that? Hide here, hide there. Yeah, I'll tell you something else. Like I've met some students before. They are the one who tell me, oh, they tell me that, oh, they are going somewhere for a retreat or something. Then so well, since you tell me, so I ask, oh, where are you going for a retreat? Then they go all over the place, but don't tell me where. I'm like, okay. And so there's always some reasons why we act or speak in a certain way. Yeah. Question is whether those ways are good reasons. Yeah. And whether as a result we act in ways that is harmful to others. Or whether as a result we act in ways that is harmful to others. And yeah, so 8 precepts is a bit interesting compared to 5 precepts. Yeah. Because the later 3 precepts, yeah, 不非时时，不着相幻慢，现有出生，不可有娼妓，不闻观听，不作恶高广大长。The last 3 precepts is not directly harming anyone, right? Yeah. So, but it's part of the practice, yeah, in restraint of our desire, restraint of our senses. So for some people, maybe it's not so easy. Yeah, maybe not so easy. I ever have some students pertaining to the asking about the monastic practice. I have some students who, not some, but there are some students who ask. So they privately ask me, 师父, like rather intrusive questions. Yeah, they ask certain questions that's rather intrusive. So in which case I tell them, I say, what do you need to know? Yeah. Oh. I don't mean that Meiyan's question itself is wrong. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with wanting to find out what to do if you break precepts. Yeah, but because Sangha have their own different approaches on how to deal with it, and because the precepts, there are different categories. Yeah, so there are different approaches. One of which is actually doing repentance. One of which is doing repentance. Yeah. But because this whole chunk is not directly applicable to you for the most part. Yeah. In most traditions, we don't spend time teaching monastic code to lay people. Yeah, because it's not directly related to you. Except for certain parts which is pertaining to interaction with lay people, then we would teach the part that is relevant to you all so that the interaction is in line with the Dharma. But otherwise, a lot of it is strictly just about the Sangha, the monastic, the community. So not so relevant to you. Yeah. Oh, okay. If you, with respect to teaching or sharing precepts, I find that sometimes it's better to share on the precepts, not starting off with the precepts. Don't just go into, oh, you must not do this, you must not do that. Yeah, I usually don't go into the precepts in that way. If I do even highlight, don't do this, I will always highlight why you don't do this. I will highlight the reason. Yeah, because the reason is more important than just not doing it. You understand? It's like in parents class last time, I ever told the parents during the parents class, I said, if all you want is to have your kids be quiet and don't run around, yeah, then you don't need to come and attend parents class, and your children don't have to attend the kids Dharma class. You just need two things. The first thing is masking tape. Second thing is you need, I don't have rope here. The second thing is you need rope. Yeah, you just need masking tape, tape up their mouth, then rope, tie them up. Then your kids will not run around, will not make noise. Maybe make a bit of noise. Yeah, if all you want is for them to physically conform to what you want them to be. Don't move, don't run around, don't make noise. Very simple. You don't have to attend all this class, waste of time. But if you use that approach, then you basically stop them altogether. That they cannot do anything. Yeah, and the moment you take out the mask, then they again scream and shout, and maybe even worse. The moment you untie them, then they go crazy. So that's not a long-term solution. So I told them, I said, that's why if you come for Dharma class, you bring your kids for Dharma class, you must do that with the right expectation, the right mindset that leads to the right expectation. That is about introducing them to a different mindset. But even that, it's not that you you inject new mindset into their brain, but it's to introduce them to a different mindset. Ultimately, they have to decide for themselves whether they can accept or don't accept. Yeah, mindset cannot be enforced. Yeah, you can nurture. Okay, you can nurture. You can expose them. You can share with them the values. You We can share with them the benefits of it, but they must see it. If they don't see it, yeah, you can enforce. 站好 can, but you turn around, then they, yeah, la 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 la. Yeah. And that's why if you look at the Noble Eightfold Path, it starts with right view. It doesn't start with right action or right speech. Right speech is number 3. Right action is number 4. Right livelihood is number 5. You notice that? Yeah. And that's why when I do touch on precepts, I oftentimes would spend time focusing on why these precepts. The actual precepts is quite straightforward. The actual precept is quite straightforward. But you need to have a reason why you don't do this. Yeah. And even after sharing the why, they may or may not understand, much less accept. Yeah. There are people who don't understand. There are people who don't accept. Yeah. So if you can get them to know first, then understand, then maybe they can accept. And even if they accept, today they can do, tomorrow maybe they cannot do. Because why? Because when we say we know, we understand, and we accept, is more of the cognitive, but in a way, intuitively, or in terms of our habits. Yeah, habit is a long-term thing. Yeah, habits is a long-term thing. And in Buddhism, we say the habits is not just from this life; it's from many lives, from since beginningless time, no beginning. So that torrent of habits that's so ingrained in us, just because you understand, if the habits at that moment, at a certain moment is strong enough, we may become overwhelmed by it and still act according to our habits. Yeah. So getting whether it's the youth or whether it's adults to understand this whole process, I find that it's more helpful for people to observe the precepts. Yeah, that's why, like, was it yesterday that I mentioned about 3 refuge, 5 precepts? I don't say, your Buddhism must. I explain why it would make more sense to be observing the precepts by giving the parallel of if you about Xiaofang, right? Yeah, that if you have someone who come to who is a professor, and then you say that you want to be a student, but when you do the research, you don't conform with that professor's findings and so on. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, so it's getting people to make sense of it. Then they'll say, okay, it kind of makes sense. Then you will be interested to find out exactly what the precepts entails. Yeah. So most of the time when we teach precepts, we are just teaching them how to observe. What are the precepts and how to observe it? But the how shouldn't be the first thing we share. We should be sharing the why first. Now, this is something that I've been sharing with the volunteers since day one. Why versus the how? Why versus the how? Yeah. If you don't have a good why, no matter how easy the how is, you shouldn't be doing it. Yeah. But oftentimes we fall into the trap that if it's easy to do, if it's cheap to do, especially if it's free, then we just go and do. Yeah, but we shouldn't. Yeah, marketing always try to get us to fall into this trap. Advertising marketing is all about getting us to forget about the why. But sometimes they distort the why. They make you think that you know why you need to buy this product because you make it happier. You are unhappy. Yeah, so it's distorting your why. We need to know our own why. many years ago, when I was still a lay person, there was once I was invited back to my JC. I was already working, so I was invited back to my JC, and they were having a meeting with the alumni, a small group of us, about 10 over of us, and then it was to discuss about organizing something for the school. So it was supposed to be at 7, but I only joined in the meeting at 7:30. Not because I was late. I did arrive there around 7, but when I arrived, the whole JC, 10 Pines JC, was all dark, pitch dark. The whole building, all nobody there. So I had a hard time, like, so long never come back. Don't know how to get in. So I parked at a nearby HDB car park. Then walk. Don't know how to go in. Too long never go like to school. Don't know how to go in. So by the time I got back in, it's 7:30. Wow. Then after I go in there, I realized, hey, JC also not small. I don't know where they are. I'll call there. Then finally find my way there. Yeah, so by the time I reached the room, it was 7:30 anyway. Very funny. And then they had already spent half an hour discussing, and then there was like the whiteboard discussing what food to have, the different dishes, then who to invite, which batch, blah blah blah, and then all kinds of things. And I listened to that discussion for 5 more minutes. Then I suddenly told them, like, guys, stop. Then they turn around and look at me like, this guy coming late, half an hour late. Then after 5 minutes, tell us to stop. So I asked them, like, have we decided whether we want to do the dinner for the alumni yet? Have we decided? Then they said no. Then I asked them, then why are we discussing all these things? Then they look at me as though I'm asking a ridiculous question. They say, like, that's why we're discussing all this, right? Because otherwise, how to decide whether we want to do the dinner or not? Then I told them, I said, but if we haven't decided whether we want to have dinner, why should we be discussing all the details? Then it suddenly hit them that, oh yeah. So I told them, I said, yeah, why don't we decide why we want to have the dinner first? Yeah, so I told them, I said, okay, give your everybody just take like 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, think of why you want to do this dinner. Yeah, let's figure that out. Yeah, we decide figure that out first. Then after that, we go into the details. So after that, they think. Then actually, I just give them maybe 1-2 minutes. Then I say, okay, stop. Okay, go around. Wow, then everybody came up with amazing reasons. One person said, "Oh, I'm very grateful to the school, so I want to repay the kindness of the school. So I want to like be involved in this to organize this dinner." And a person said, another one said, I'm very grateful to my civics teacher. Another one said principal, or this maths teacher, that one, everything. When they all finished, they're feeling quite good about themselves. It's like the kind of rah-rah, wow. You know what I told them? I said, all these are not very good reasons. All of them were like, what? I told them, do you notice that all your reasons have nothing to do with you? It's all about other people. I told them, I said, from my years of being a volunteer in all the different ECAs, if you do something not for yourself, it's not sustainable. If you do something because of somebody, not sustainable. Your skin must be in the game. You must be doing it because it benefits you, because you want it. If not, you can do it for a while, but cannot sustain. You'll burn out. At some point, you'll be asking, why am I doing this? Yeah. And they know that it's true because they have volunteered in different organizations, but it's something that sometimes we, it slips our mind. Yeah, those of you who have volunteered long enough in different organizations, you know that is the case. There must be a reason regarding you, directly involving you, directly affecting you, directly improving your life. Otherwise, not very sustainable. I said, for once, let's be selfish. Just do it for ourselves. Yeah. There's 10 over of us. If we add a few principals, a few teachers, that's 20. Is 20 of us good enough reason to have a dinner? It's about positioning. And then they're like, yeah. I mean, they cannot say no. Otherwise, it means that we ourselves, we are not worthy enough to have a dinner. So they were like, yeah, okay. Yeah, 20 of us is good enough reason to have a dinner. And then, okay. So we want to have a dinner, and it's for 20 of us. And we are doing it just for the 20 of us. Whoever else come is a bonus. Yeah, it's a very I don't know. It sounds very selfish, right? But to me, that is a very good reason to have a dinner. You do a dinner for other people, you're going to fail miserably. Is that you think about wedding dinner? The wedding dinner is for the couple. If you organize a wedding dinner for everybody, you're going to suffer if people say, oh, I cannot make it this way, then you're going to feel miserable, which is what a lot of people face, right? You must remember it's for the couple, for the two family. The rest is just garnish, The rest of people who come is just garnishing. Yeah. So I told them this, and they're like, okay, it makes sense. So I said, then let's look at the table again, let's wipe everything out. Then I told them, I said, now since we are the one who is having the dinner, ask yourself, what do you want to eat? Then suddenly the list was very easy to come up. Before that, they cannot decide. They don't know how much to charge, whatever. After that, all that just fall in place because you have a fixed audience already. Yeah. And you already know you want to do it and what you want to eat, who you want to invite, done. Yeah. Those things on the whiteboard, those are the how. If you never figure out why you want to do it, those you cannot figure out. Yeah, and at the drop of the hat, you will start to question yourself and you'll just give up. I think about 2-3 months later, do you know how many people turn up for the dinner? 400 over alumni. 400 over is no small change. Yeah. I'm not claiming credit here. I'm not saying, wow, Sifu is so powerful. No. It's because the team really believe in it. Yeah, the team really feel connected with the reason why we want to do it. Yeah. Of course, another part of it was when we were coming up with the invite, right? It was very funny. The first draft of the invite that someone came up with. How many of you receive letters from your alma mater, your school? How many times does the school tell you about how the school needs you to support the school, need you to donate, blah blah blah, or for that matter, many organizations, right? So when I first saw the letter, and the first thing was, we need your support, please donate, blah blah. I told them, no, please don't write something like that. Our intention is to invite them for dinner, not to ask them to donate or invite them to do anything else. Just focus on that. Invite them to come for the dinner. Then they're like, but we need them to donate. Why do we need them to donate? I said, so, but in the end, I told them, no, please don't put such a thing. It puts people off and it detracts people from what you're trying to do. Just tell them what you are doing. If you're interested, they'll support you. Why would you? So in the end, that line became a fine print below. And the fine print says, and above is all about getting them to come back, to enjoy each other's company, to connect back with one another, and have a good time. That's all it is. And then at the very last, there's a fine, super small fine print. I don't have font 8, super by tiny one. And it was, and if you really cannot do anything else except donate, and then contact us. Yeah. Oftentimes people get mixed up with these two, you know? Yeah. And the same policy, the same practice I applied to the volunteers. I told them, don't go and try to canvas for fun and this that. We just do what we are supposed to be doing. We tell people what we are doing. If they want to support, they support lah. You know, it's really, you know, you say 随缘. Yeah. And even more so when it comes to the precepts. Yeah. You tell them what the precepts is, or rather why observing the precepts is good. The benefits of it. Yeah. Then they can decide. People are not stupid, they can decide for themselves. Oh. So I hope each of us can approach the teachings, the precepts in a similar way. Oh. And understand why we observe the precepts. And not just the precepts, why we meditate, why we learn the Dharma. Yeah. And that can help us to deepen our practice and progress in the path. Amitabha. Oh, sorry, there are some comments. Hong Chit asks, may I ask, how does the breaking of the precepts connect to Hiri Otapa? For instance, does breaking it repeatedly actually uncondition one's Hiri Otapa? I don't know what is Hiri Otapa. Xiaofang asks, can I check with you the meaning of 信解行正is to have faith, understanding, practice, and realize? Yes, the 正 is 正悟的正. This is 正确的正. The 正 has a 言字边 next to it. Oh, Xiaofang. Yeah. Hiri Otapa sounds like Japanese and not. Is it Pali? So what is Hiri Otapa?
Moral shame and fear.
Oh, then just write moral shame and fear. How does the breaking of the precepts connect to Hiri? Well, if a person has moral shame and fear, then the person would refrain from breaking the precepts. But perhaps better to look at it this way. The precepts is about not doing certain things. And what are they? Acts of harming others. So if we understand it this way, then having moral shame and fear would cause one to refrain from harming others. Yeah, because if we forget that breaking precepts is harming others, then sometimes we get disconnected with the end goal of the precepts, you know. Then it's becoming just about breaking precepts. But if you know that breaking precepts is harming others, then it makes more logical sense why moral shame and fear would cause a person to refrain from it. Yeah. Does breaking it repeatedly actually uncondition one's Hiri Utapa? Does it uncondition it? Well, any of you enlightened here? So if you're not enlightened, then we have been breaking precepts repeatedly for many lives. Yeah. for sure, if we repeatedly break precepts, it does something. Yeah. More importantly, the view shouldn't, right view shouldn't be abandoned. Yeah, we shouldn't break or have a wrong view. Yeah, 宁可破戒不可破见. Yeah, the mindset, the view. That means, for example, in the right view, the Buddha starts off highlighting, teaching what is unwholesome, what is wholesome. Yeah, and so directly inside, he talk about that killing is unwholesome. So a person may still kill, yeah, but know that it's unwholesome. Another person may kill because you think that it's not unwholesome. Between the two, the latter is very far off. Because the first person may kill, but know that it's unwholesome, so know that he has done something wrong or she has done something wrong. The second person don't think they have done something wrong. Yeah, and may even advocate killing to others because it's not wrong. For example, if you ask the people who like to fish, they may not feel that it's wrong. Why? What's wrong with fishing? This fish, they don't know anything about. It's just things that is moving around. Some people have all kinds of funny ideas, right? But another person may consciously kill, but know that it's wrong. Yeah, and so feels very regretful. Yeah, so between the two, the one who know that it's wrong, but still kill is still better. Of course, if we compare with someone who know that it's wrong and don't kill, then that's more superior. And again, the false comparison. We oftentimes fall into this trap and feel that the second is pointless also. If you cannot stop killing, then so what if you know? But it's a false comparison. Yeah, because if that's the case, then how many of us can compare Buddha? Buddha perfect ma? Yeah, we got to start somewhere, right? If every time a person wants to practice, then we compare the person with the Buddha and say you are not like the Buddha. Then we say that, then we feel like then the person is a hypocrite because you're not like the Buddha, you're imperfect. Then no more Buddha. Towards ourselves, then we are setting up ourselves for failure. Towards others, then we're also doing the same thing. Yeah, so don't do this. Don't do this. Yeah. Even if a person repeatedly do it wrong, as long as the person recognizes that that is wrong, give the person another chance. Try. Yeah. The question is whether the person recognizes that. Yeah. But we must know that for a person to recognize that it's wrong, it also needs condition. Yeah. Easy for us who recognize it's wrong and are somehow able to not break the precepts to look at the person who break precepts. You like but compared to Buddha, all of us ridiculously hopeless. If the Buddha adopt that kind of mindset, so sakura, you all just continue in samsara. Yeah, so don't give up. Don't give up on yourself in trying. Yeah. Don't give up on others also. Give them a chance. Or in a way, when we say give them a chance, it's giving ourselves a chance. Yeah. But cannot force people to give other people a chance. Especially if you're the one who, let's say it's not precepts, or let's say if it's you who do something that harm others, you cannot then go and get angry if people say, how come you don't give me a chance? You know, yeah. If you go and slap people, then you cannot say, hey, Sifu, you forget, Sifu say you must give people a chance. That person give it peck again. Well, give me a chance. Peck. I can't help it. Slap you. Yeah. OK。我们回向了没有？还没回向啊。愿消三障诸烦恼，
愿消三障诸烦恼，
愿得智慧真明了，
愿得智慧真明了，
不愿罪障悉消除，
不愿罪障悉消除，
世世常行菩萨道。
世世常行菩萨道。
阿弥陀佛。Till we meet again, may be guided and protected by the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And as always,
乖乖
have a restful day ahead.
，I guess
Take care, stay safe.